Hello and welcome to the Dragon Den. I'm KingofDragons 5000 and today I have another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Bandai SH Figuarts Premium Bandai exclusive Dragon Ball GT Super Android 17. Super Android 17 looks quite impressive out of the packaging as he looks exactly like he did in the anime. Just like in the anime, he looks like a more menacing and mature version of Android 17. Super Android 17 does come with 4 different faceplates, alternate parts of hair for dynamic posing, as well as several sets of hands for various style posing and holding his effect piece, his Electro Eclipse Sphere, an alternate hairpiece for the GT Kid Goku, as well as a Dragon Fist effect part. As we have a closer look at Super 17's details, I'm really liking what Bandai did here. He looks quite menacing and imposing in this new action figure. Taking a look at the head sculpt, they did a pretty good job with Android 17, although I do feel like his skin is too pale. The paintwork on his face is very impressive as it captures the look from the anime perfectly. We do have 2 strands of hair on the right side of his face as well as a strand on the left side. And his long black flowing hair does go down to his shoulders. As we have a look at his torso, they did a really good job sculpting all the detail, although I do feel like his shirt should be a darker shade. The brown straps on his costume are nicely painted and the gold accents do a really good job of contrasting the colors. I do like the fact that the details from his shirt go all the way to the back, so those straps are still painted here. And Super Android 17 is wearing his signature orange scarf. His exposed shoulders are looking pretty good, but they are still quite pale. The sculpted detailing on his arm is quite impressive as you can see all the folds and wrinkles in his shirt. His bracers are painted in this really nice shade of gold, and an added detail is you can remove these bracers and expose the Hellstorm attack. His gloves are going to be the same color as his shirt, although the inside is going to be a much lighter shade. And all his open hands will have his energy drainers. As we move on to his belt, he's wearing a very big belt buckle with the red ribbon insignia crossed off. The loops around his belt are nicely painted, although his belt is a completely separate piece from the rest of the sculpt. As we move on to his legs, you can see that they did sculpt his jeans really well, and I like the fact that they actually gave some wash on his jeans. All the line work and folds and wrinkles in the jeans look really impressive, and I like the fact that you can see the tear on the left thigh. His boots are going to be in a glossy shade of dark aqua green, which match the color of his shirt. There is some impressive line work here on his boots, and the tip of his toes are going to be done in gold. And the soles of his boots are going to be done in this really nice shade of gray. An impressive figure in terms of both sculpt and detail. Android 17 here looks quite impressive and is more imposing than his previous counterparts. Although I do like the fact they did add some paint to his jeans, I would have loved to see some paint wash throughout the rest of his costume. With the paint and details out of the way, let's compare Super 17 to our usual suspects. Super 17 does look impressive, especially posed next to domestic action figure lines. Although he's still going to be on the smaller side, he's going to actually be taller than most of your Dragon Ball collection. Although I do feel he's a little bit too short, he actually scales nicely to the rest of the Dragon Ball GT line. Having a look at his articulation, Android 17 does have a double ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck, ball jointed butterfly joints, and ball socketed shoulders. Arms go out to the side and do a full 360. A swivel in the bicep and double hinge in the elbow. A rotation at his gauntlet and a ball hinge in the wrist. Super 17 has a ball joint in the upper torso and a ball joint in the lower torso. His legs will kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. He will have a double bend in the knee, Finally, he has a ball hinge in the ankle and a toe hinge. Although Dragon Ball GT isn't everyone's favorite series, I'm really liking what Bandai is doing with the Dragon Ball GT line. Super 17 is quite impressive in his own right, and I like the engineering that went into him. Bandai did give him somewhat of a Revoltech style shoulder where it does pivot forward and back, and I do like that for additional posing. My mental image of Super 17 is that he should be quite taller, but I still like the fact that he's going to be taller than Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And in terms of scale, I feel like he should be a little bit broader as he still feels kinda thin. However, the detailing on Super 17 is quite impressive as the face paint on him looks spot on to what we saw in the anime. Although I feel like his skin could be a little bit darker, it doesn't nullify the fact that it's still done very well. The Static Death Ball is another great inclusion to Super 17 as that is his signature attack, and I like the way they decide to implement it here. And continuing the trend of Dragon Ball GT figures, he will come with additional parts for GT Goku. Replicating the Dragon Fist that took him out in the anime, it's a great inclusion here for Super 17. The major drawback to Super 17 is that he was a premium Bandai exclusive figure, so if you missed out on the pre-order, secondhand market is the only way to pick him up. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball GT or just love playing him in the Budokai games, I strongly recommend you track down Super Android 17. And before we go, thank you for watching another video here on the Dragon Den. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out the rest of my Dragon Ball videos. If you're in a position to help at the Dragon Den, check out this Patreon where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000 reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.